This is One on One. That was Escape to Margaritaville. This is Christopher Ashley, the director of Escape to Margaritaville, Tony Award-winning director. By the way, previews for Escape to Margaritaville start when?
Tonight.
Tonight. By the way, we're taping, actually, full disclosure, February 16th. Tell everyone, I asked, what's it like today?
So we had our dress rehearsal last night. We'll be putting in changes all day today, and we have our first audience tonight, which I think will be a mix of hardcore Jimmy Buffett fans, they call them parrot heads, and theater goers who just want a good story.
Are you a parrot head?
I started out, but when I started working on the show about 4 years ago, as a real fan, but now I'm a full-fledged parrot head.
Because?
I think I know every word of every song he's ever written by now, just putting the show together. And also, I just started going to his concerts as prep for the show, and they are a wild, intense celebration, those concerts.
For those who don't know or are not fans of Jimmy Buffett, describe him and it.
So he is this great, joyous guy who lives his life having fun every single day. And he's got this amazing body of work of hundreds of songs, which are celebratory and amazing party songs. If you think you don't know him, you probably actually do.
Such as?
Escape to Margaritaville, one of his most famous, Volcano, Cheeseburger in Paradise. There's a lot of amazing, famous ones. We also mine a lot of the lesser known ones, and he's written a couple of new ones for this show.
Whose idea was this?
So Jimmy's been trying to put together a show wrapped around his music for a couple of years, but our two book writers, Greg Garcia and Mike O'Malley, came up with this brand new story and pitched it to Jimmy, and we've been developing it for about 4 years, and this is our first night in New York.
He's into it. Jimmy, you told me that Jimmy Buffett is engaged and involved.
Very much so. He's been on tour the entire time we've been developing it. But he flies himself in on his private plane from tour, and he's been our spirit guide. He's super smart about his own music, of course, and he's a really adventurous creator. So whenever the question is, should we try this? His answer is always, yeah, let's give it a try.
So, again, I appreciate his music, but don't know what that. I mean, I like it, but I'm not a parrot head.
Yeah.
We don't lie on public television. How do you wind up appealing to folks outside of those who are passionate aficionados?
Right.
If you
So
will,
for the
Jimmy
fans, there's all kinds of Easter eggs through the whole show.
I mean, they
all
get
kinds
it.
of ways, and they really get it.
Will we not?
And, our goal is to make a show that you can enjoy if you don't know a lick of his music,
Okay.
to really create a story that stands on its own. And his music, if you don't already know it, it has an incredible celebratory welcome to the party quality, and also a real strand of sadness and loss and a kind of poetic, philosophical bent about characters whose lives didn't turn out exactly the way they had hoped.
And this musical, there's a story here, and the lead, the protagonist, if you will, is
Tully Mars.
Tully Mars,
A songwriter, works in a beach bar, new woman every week, and really lives his life for love right now. And he falls in love with the most unlikely woman imaginable, an environmental scientist who's all about changing the world.
This is not at all Jimmy Buffett's story.
Her story, there were no songs pre-written for an environmental scientist who wants to change the world in Jimmy Buffett's catalog. So he's written some new ones, and his whole team of collaborators have really created a voice for her within his music.
What's the connection between this play and the La Jolla Playhouse?
So I'm the artistic director at La Jolla Playhouse. I've been there for
You admit that.
11 years. I write loud and proud. And it's an amazing storied theater. It was founded by Gregory Peck and Dorothy McGuire in the 40s. Des McAnuff ran it for many years. And it's recently been 100% new work, world premiere musicals and plays. And
Did it come from away, start there?
It did. Exactly right.
By the way, you won for that. But Georgette, who do we have on? Irene and David,
Yeah,
the writers,
yeah.
we had them here, come from, what an incredible story that is.
Yeah.
They're in and the people come
Story of
there.
that
and
show. It's a
okay.
tiny town in Newfoundland.
Look at these people. Who are they? And they take them in.
They
and
took these people in from all around the world,
Right.
different languages, different cultures, and a story of incredible generosity, that show.
You knew that. Did you have a sense that was going to be special?
Our first performance in La Jolla, the audience lost their minds and wouldn't leave the theater. They just kept staying and clapping and talking and telling each other their stories of that week. So yeah, I had a sense pretty early that it was something special.
When Escape to Margaritaville first was performed there, reaction?
So there was a
Totally different place.
Totally different place. Mixed audience of parrot heads and our subscribers who are real theater goers who want a story.
At La Jolla.
At La Jolla. There was tailgating out in the parking lot, much to my surprise, 4 hours ahead of time, right?
Shocking.
Everybody brought their own shots. And it was interesting to watch those two audiences figure out how to watch the play together. The parrot heads were up for a party and up for a celebration, and our subscribers were trying to watch the show, and there was singing along, and they sort of figured it out within about 5 minutes, and they were all the way in it and all the way intent, and it was a party in the way that you hope for if you direct theater.
Cliche question. Who is this play for? Age-wise? Anything that
Yeah, it's
a 15-year-old...
Absolutely, a 15-year-old can enjoy it. Absolutely,
I'm asking because we have a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely. You're invited.
Okay. Down to 13, we're okay? Or are we pushing it?
No, I think we're okay at 13.
Okay.
It's not for little kids, but the generation that grew up with this music and had their first date with this as the soundtrack will absolutely enjoy it. And I think teenagers and 20-somethings. There's a great love story. It dances like crazy. I mean, this music makes you want to move. And sort of like a Jimmy Buffett concert, there's real theatrical surprises all night long.
Before I let you out of here, real quick, thing you love most about being a director is?
Oh,
we have the best director in the world in Bob Morris. That's why I'm saying.
I love that. What a great question. I love watching audiences come together and form a community around a story. That's the most exciting thing in the world to me.
I'm not going to ask you what you don't love about directing.
I appreciate that.
Let's leave it alone. Escape to Margaritaville at the Marquis Theater, 210 West 46th Street, right down the street from us. In preview, starts today, but folks, check it out. Christopher Ashley, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you and your team and the whole Jimmy Buffett Parrot Head family all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back right after this. That was fun.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Georgian Court University, New Jersey Sharing Network, New Jersey Resources, TD Bank, the New Jersey Office of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor, Verizon, and by United Airlines. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.